Hello, listeners, and welcome to Youth Ventures podcast, PDX Business Spotlight.
Welcome back to PDX Business Spotlight. This is Keshav Arora from the Youth Venture team, and today we're welcoming Lisa and Molly from Sao Noi. Hi, Lisa and Molly. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. How about yourself, Keshav?
I'm doing good as well. So
Good.
we're over here at PDX Business Spotlight, where we spotlight BIPOC-owned businesses in the PDX area on what they do. And today we're interviewing Sao Noi. First off, Lisa, can you give an overview of who you are, what your business is about, and how you got started?
Yes, so my name is Lisa Duangpumi, and my sister Molly Duangpumi is also here, but we both started a business with our mom called Sao Noi. Sao Noi translates to little girl in Lao. So pretty much it's an homage to our mother because she's the youngest of 8 siblings.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our company handcrafts small batch Southeast Asian inspired chili oils and beef jerky.
How did your mom get started, and how have you guys supported her since then?
Yeah, so we actually started out with our restaurant in Hood River.
Mm-hmm.
This was in about 2011. That was when we first opened up the restaurant. And we used to serve pho. So it was a Thai Vietnamese restaurant, but pho was one of our mom's best-selling dishes. And
Yeah.
then one day she decided to make some chili oils to go with the pho, and those chili oils became an instant hit. And one of our employees actually suggested that we bottle these and sell them.
Wow, that's great. And how do you sell these oils and the jerk that we also saw?
Yeah, so we actually produce the chili oils in a commercial kitchen out here in Gresham, but we're based in Portland, so still locally made. And we actually did not release our beef jerkies until about 2 or 3 years ago, but they're based off of our chili oil flavors.
Mm-hmm. And do you guys sell these like in person or online? Like, what's the process from like for a customer to get access to these oils or jerkies?
Yeah, you can actually find us at local farmers markets. We're
Mm-hmm.
at Vancouver, Lake Oswego, and Selwood farmers markets this year. And then we'll do some of the larger events, like we just did the Legendary Makers Market and the White Lotus Festival. You can also find us in retailers. So we're at about 50 independent local retailers like Market of Choice, Elephant's
Wow.
Deli. Yeah. And then we're also online on Amazon, or you can shop directly through our website.
Hey, that sounds great. There's definitely a lot of options to get to you guys. So, how has being a person of color affected your business?
Well, Keisha, when we first started, there was just very low familiarity with the Lao culture and just in products, just our products in general. It was just difficult to market chili oils at the time because people were kind of oblivious to what the purpose of chili oils are. We got questions all the time, like, "Oh, what can you do with this?" And then they weren't moving off the shelves very well when we first started selling these in 2015.
Yeah. And could you just explain, like, for the people that listen to our podcast who don't know how chili oils work, like, what are they for and how are they used?
Yeah, so they're very versatile. You can add them to your dressings, stir fries, marinades, or I just simply use them to drizzle over pizzas, tacos, popcorn, or I actually made some chocolate chip cookies with these before too.
Oh, wow. Chocolate chip cookies. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
How did the Lao culture specifically inspire your business and these chili oils and the jerky?
So we were actually very inspired by our family's recipes. So the flavors are rooted within like our grandmother's and our mother's recipes. So we have
Mm-hmm.
3 different kinds of chili oils. There's our original, which has just the garlic and onions. We have a ginger flavor that's actually a Good Food Award finalist for 2021.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and then the lemongrass is actually one of our most like popular flavors as well. But these are all very nostalgic of our family's traditional recipes.
Wow. That's amazing. So, like, if you know any other Lao families, like, have they been using chewy oils in their cooking for a while as well? Or is it more just your family?
Yes, so um, one of our traditional Lao dishes is called kalpiak. It's like a really starchy rice noodle soup. You can just add like a little dollop of chili oil in there, and it's like one of the most ultimate comfort foods. You add some like fried garlic on top, and it's usually cooked in a pork or chicken broth.
Wow, that's interesting. So, after looking at your website, expanding on the recipes, I saw that you have the recipes posted. Can you expand on those recipes and like what inspired those?
Yeah, so there was one point where we actually had a recipe contest at Molly's workplace. And Molly, if you'd like to talk about that. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yes. So at the company that I'm currently working at, my former CEO, Scott Steinford, put together a recipe contest. So he presented us with like a PowerPoint presentation kind of outlining the recipe contest, and he purchased 210 jars of chili oil for all the employees. And
Wow.
we've so our cookbook is a compilation of recipes from the employees at my current company, and of the recipes, they vary from like Asian inspired recipes and also American. So you it's like, yeah, a collective.
That sounds
And
great.
yeah, and when we talk about companies, yes, we still have day jobs.
Yeah. Of course. So how has like the cookbook helped you like delve more into either your culture or like related cultures and just made Ao Noi a more successful business?
So the cookbook, it helps our consumers kind of it showcases how to utilize our chili oils, and also, maybe, oh yeah, oh yeah. So like the nice thing about the cookbook is that, well, the purpose of it was to pretty much showcase how to use the chili oils in like different recipes and just show its like
Mm-hmm.
versatility. It could even be combined with like just like non-Lao food. So I'll add it to like spaghetti. It's like perfect combination.
Yeah. And like the chocolate chip cookies as you talked about.
Okay, so yeah, those are interesting. I was just feeling very creative one day, and I'm like, I kind of want to make like some spicy and savory chocolate chip cookies. And what I put was, so it was like some ground coffee, and then I put some chili oil, some huge chunks of chocolate chips, and it gave it like, I mean, with the chili oil added in there, you can definitely taste some of like the savoriness from like the garlic and onions. But I actually brought that to my to our local run club, and it was such a hit.
Really? Is that
Yeah.
part of your guys' cookbook? Like is that one of the recipes?
Yes, it's in there.
Yeah, that
With
sounds great.
Yeah, there's I think there's actually a brownie recipe in there too.
Dang. That definitely sounds interesting. We'll look into it and listeners will as well. So, just following up on the recipes, are there any recipes that are your personal favorites and ones that you want to highlight?
Ooh, Molly, do you have any favorites? My favorite is the nam khao. It's a crispy rice salad. So it's a traditional Lao dish, and it has a lot of herbs in there and the rice. So it's deep fried, which makes it crispy, and then it also have the coconut flakes,
Mm-hmm.
some fish sauce, lime juice. But you can also make it vegan as well.
So going back to when we asked you earlier, how has being a person of color affected your business? And you said at first it was hard for your product to get off the shelves. Like, how has that changed from then to now? And has it been more because you're a person of color or more because of your product?
I believe it's actually more of our product, but also like at the time, it seemed like it was more because um, of our culture or like where we came from. A lot of people at the time were not very familiar with like Lao culture or Lao cuisine, and it's just because it's very distinctive in flavors, and it's actually trying to think of a way to say this, but raw versus Thai food, which is a little more accommodating to like people's taste buds.
Mm-hmm.
But Lao food is very sometimes it can be a little bit pungent. Um, but I think like over time though, well, you've probably heard recently about how chili oils have exploded over the past few years,
Yeah.
especially during the pandemic. So yeah, chili oils like now have become a very saturated market, so we have more competition, and that's a little challenge that we have to work through.
Yeah. Would you say it's more local competition or like national competition?
I would say both actually, because we've seen more local chili oil companies pop up.
Wow, that's surprising. So, how have you guys, because of like the competition, have you seen more representation of Lao culture, and like how has that affected your business?
I still don't see much Lao chili oils out there, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing is because chili oils are chili oils are pretty broad recipes. There's like different cultures that do have different chili oil recipes. So you'll see something that's like Sichuan inspired or something rooted from like Latin America. So it's really interesting to see all of those pop up.
Yeah, and how are the Lao ones differentiated from those?
Um, I actually think about it as like it was something that we grew up with. So we
Mm-hmm.
just tie it back with our traditional recipes like kalpiak or kalsoy or another recipe is tom kim. It's like a pork belly stew.
Yeah, definitely sounds interesting. So that kind of brings us to our next question, and you mentioned the pandemic earlier. So how has the pandemic affected your business?
Um, be- because the pandemic happened so suddenly, I mean, it put our business at a standstill for about a month. But I think over time, people just kind of came together, like the community came together and just was in solidarity with the local businesses. So they were trying to find ways to support um, the local businesses around here.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually had like an influx of online orders, probably the first couple months during the pandemic, because people were really trying to support
Yeah.
us.
I mean, like that's one of the main reasons. Like around the pandemic is when we started PDX Business Spotlight because we wanted to support BIPOC-owned businesses like yours. So it sounds great that businesses were positively affected. But that also brings me to were there any downsides and what were those and how that affected your business?
There were definitely a lot of downsides, like especially with like logistics. We experienced a lot of supply shortages and uncertainty in the markets. Like for example, with our jars, lids, and all these other supplies that
Mm-hmm.
we've ordered in the past, like we weren't sure if they were going to be discontinued um, because of the market conditions.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of supply chain issues around then. And how did you guys get through this and make it to where you guys are today?
So I mean, I think the fact that we just kept persisting and,
Mm-hmm.
belief that we were able to just keep our product going. We always think back about our beginnings and how we started. It's kind of like our baby. So,
Yeah.
We just couldn't like abandon our baby. We're like, okay, we got to keep nurturing our baby and keep it going.
Yeah. That sounds sweet. So did you guys have to like switch any suppliers, or like did the initial ones follow through, or like what were like some of the more complications you guys had to face to get to where you are today?
Luckily, we didn't have to do anything drastic like that. We've still stuck with our current suppliers, but for sure, inflation has caused us to increase our prices.
Yeah.
Even though we really want to keep everything affordable, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, for sure. Has inflation caused the ingredients to be more expensive, or like the packaging or the materials?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Then it makes sense that prices have gone up, and that's completely valid. So what advice do you have for young entrepreneurs of color, and what experiences could you talk about that might motivate or inspire them?
So some advice that we have for some young entrepreneurs is to not focus on the competition and just believing in your product and providing the best quality and value and giving your consumers a better experience. And also another piece of advice that we have is building relationships and also like having mentors. So like Scott has been a phenomenal mentor for us, and he's like taught us the importance of building a strong team and like also focusing on each person's skill set to like accomplish your goals.
Yeah. Are there any specific experiences where you might have focused too much on competition, or like positive experiences that might like motivate the young entrepreneurs?
So as far as competition, like since chili oil has become a saturated market currently, so we're just trying to like focus on how to grow our brands, and we do that through like farmers markets or events, and also like collaborations and just building a community. I also wanted to add that I think the most important thing is because there is so much competition, you just have to stay focused on your story because everybody's story is unique.
Yeah, definitely. And we just also wanted to know, like, we love your business, and we want our listeners to love the business as well, and we're sure they will. So, how can people support your business?
So people can support our business by following our social media. So our handle is SAONOI PDX. So it's Saonoi PDX. Or shopping at our local markets, visiting us at the farmers markets that we do like every other week, or shopping on our website.
Yeah. So the information on like which markets you're going to and where you'll be, is that all found on your Instagram?
Yes, and our Instagram is also linked to our Facebook as well. So you can also follow us on Facebook.
Okay, that sounds great. And to our listeners, we will be linking both the website and Soundnoise social media below in the description. Other than that, are there any special projects or anything else that you would like to plug on this platform?
Yeah, so we're actually looking into collaborations with other local businesses. We also go to run clubs around town, so trying to see if we can, because we already have our community there, we kind of want to provide more exposure to Saonoi through those outlets. But I think, if you have like a very solid community, that will definitely help you along the way, like when you have a business. And everybody's been so supportive of us.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, and before we let you go, you guys talked a lot about the chili oils and your favorite flavors, and we just want to know if there's any like favorite flavors you guys have for the jerky that we can recommend to our listeners.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, Molly, do you want to go first? Yeah, so my favorite is the ginger beef jerky. I love taking that on the road with me. And also, I love eating it with sticky rice. Like, it's very filling and a great, like, snack on the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what about you, Lisa?
For the chili oils, I love the lemongrass one just because it's so unique. I also love lemongrass. It's just like a fun herb to cook with, but that's actually one of our most or I guess that flavor is actually like one of our most difficult ones to make just because the lemongrass preparation process is very time consuming, but that's what makes it so special.
Yeah. Thank you. That's about it. It's truly been an honor spotlighting you today, Lisa and Molly. Is there any last words you have for us or our listeners today?
Believe in yourself and believe that you're able to achieve great things. I know that sounds cliche, but if you just stick with what you've got, then you'll definitely go far.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you back here at PDX Business Spotlight.
Thank you for listening to PDX Business Spotlight by Youth Venture, and we hope to see you in the next episode.